Some of you have always asked me about what's the safest backpack in terms of protection against being pickpocketed or against robbery. And I always say the best protection against being pickpocketed is to have a certain situational awareness of what's going on around you. And to explain my own, let's say, definition or how I live situational awareness is the best on a motorbike. So yeah, let me explain to you what I think or what my definition is of situational awareness. Okay, my definition about situational awareness explained by riding a motorcycle. So the thing about riding a motorcycle is that opposed to being in a car, you aren't protected by a lot of steel. So if you get into an accident, even if it's not your fault, but the fault of someone else, you're still the one who will get hurt, or worst case, might get killed. So it's really important to A, ride defensively, and B, to be aware of your situation. What does that mean to me? This means that you need to know what's going on around you. For instance, you need to know what's behind you, what cars are in your blind spot. Always look into your mirrors, do your shoulder checks, and be aware what's going on not only behind you but also in front of you. For instance, look into the mirrors of the cars in front of you. Can they see you, or are you in their blind spot? If you are in their blind spot, ride a little bit slower so you move into their rear view mirrors, or move faster, overtake them. Also check out, are they on their phone? Are they talking with someone? Are they tired or distracted? Always look out for that. And that's the same when you are traveling, when you are on vacation. If you are walking around, pickpockets always look out for the tourists because they know that you are distracted. You are in a new environment. You look at everything around you, at the buildings and stuff like that. So always look out for what's going on behind you so no one can pickpocket you. Or for instance, when you are on the phone, when you are texting, you are obviously distracted. And I see so many people walking around texting or standing somewhere texting. When I text or when I'm on the phone, I always stand with my back against the wall so that no one could sneak up on me and steal something from my back pockets, for instance. The next thing when you are on a motorcycle, you are not only supposed, or I recommend to check out your blind spot or what's going on behind you, but also be aware of potential, let's call them blind zones. For instance, in front of me there is a van, and if there is a street ahead on the right and there's a car who wants to turn left, if I am behind the van, then obviously the driver of the car in that street might not see me because I am in this blind zone behind the van. So that's always something to be aware of, that not only you have blind spots, not only a car around you has a blind spot, but also cars around you create a blind spot in which you might end up and therefore not being seen by other cars. So that's also something to keep in mind, and to have this situational awareness when you're riding, and therefore also use this kind of skill. That's the same thing with being in the car, in my opinion. Yes, you are more protected in the car, but you don't want to get into an accident, obviously. So always be aware of your surroundings, and then use this type of skill when you're traveling, when you're walking around the city, and when you are in potential danger of being robbed or pickpocketed. And once you have that skill, you can easily use any bag, because in my humble opinion, those anti-theft backpacks, they give you a false sense of security. You have that bag on your back and you think like, oh, that's an anti-theft backpack. I don't need to worry about someone pickpocketing me. And that to me gives you a false sense of security and makes you even more vulnerable to being pickpocketed. So my advice always is like, use the backpack that you have or the bag that you own. You can lock zippers, knot them up a little bit so it's a little bit more difficult to open the zippers, and then use situational awareness to know what's going on around you so no one can potentially pickpocket you. And yeah, and this is, as you see here, I do my shoulders checks just to be sure that no one is behind me. And yeah, that's my thought about situational awareness on a motorcycle.
Alright, these were my thoughts about situational awareness and how to use that to protect yourself from being pickpocketed. So to summarize, always be aware of what's going on around you, especially behind you. If you're texting or if you might be distracted, stand in front of a wall while you might be texting so no one can sneak up behind you and maybe pickpocket from your backpack or from your jeans back pocket. And also don't forget that this kind of situational awareness is applicable to everything, not only motorcycles or protecting yourself from being pickpocketed, but also when you are in the car. Don't text and drive. Always know your surroundings. There are always some blind spots. Be aware of what's going on. Try to remember or memorize which cars are behind you and might move into your blind spot. Same goes when you're walking around the city. Another thing that I always do is I don't wear headphones, or while I'm listening to an audiobook or music, I don't wear over-ear headphones on both sides. So I always have like one ear open and I'm able to hear what's going on around me. Maybe if I cross the street, I hear a car that maybe run a red light or something like that. So bottom line, always know what's going on around you. Try not to be that distracted, especially if you are in an environment that you aren't that familiar with, so on vacation for instance. Okay, that was my very first moto vlog or approach to a motor vlog. I know that most of you are here for bag related or travel related content. So as you can see here, I try to combine motorcycling with those topics, and instead of watching me sitting on the couch, now you watched me on the motorcycle talking to you about a very important topic in my humble opinion. Yeah, as I said, I know that not many of you are that particular into motorcycling, but let me know in the comments below. Would you consider to watch something like this as long as the topic is related to backpacks and traveling? And how do you like this view of me sitting on the motorcycle, or would you prefer a classic moto vlogging POV perspective? And let me know in the comment section below. And more importantly, what are your thoughts about being safe while you are traveling and protecting yourself from being pickpocketed or mugged? How do you stay safe during your vacation? And maybe you have some tips of your own how to protect yourself. Let me know in the comment section below. And like always, if you have any more questions, also comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. And please feel free to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell icon so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you very much. Okay, this wasn't the usual backpack related video, but the topic was very important. If you want to see more videos of me talking about bags, or maybe it's also some unboxings and stuff like that, you can support me via Patreon. A while back I decided not to do any sponsorships or ads beyond the YouTube ads. You can see my thoughts about that in the video in the info tab above. So I created a Patreon, and on Patreon you can see Patreon only videos about previews, behind the scenes, unboxing in a vlog style kind of way. Obviously, please do not feel obliged to support me that way. You will still be able to watch all my regular videos on this channel for free. But if you decide to support me via Patreon, then you can see these Patreon only videos as a small little thank you. I really appreciate all of your support, that you watch my videos, that you are subscribed to the channel and maybe also subscribe to my Instagram. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next videos.